Welcome to the spin. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Tyler?
I'm good.
John?
I'm great, man.
Welcome.
I was not expecting that.
Brand new. We're up in the production value.
Boy, Frog Grips went to the training camp and was like, "All right, guys, y'all gonna be on camera 100% of the time."
That's right. That's right.
I like that.
As you may notice, a couple new sponsors: Frog Grips
It's filling up.
and Lujan Jun. So
Not as much as what you get scribble. Shut up and scribble. I commented last week. I was like, y'all are starting to look like a NASCAR top.
Well, we just work with a couple sponsors. Frog Grips, code SPIN, save 15% on grips like Tia.
The official grip of the JY Barbell team.
Ooh, there you go.
Because they gave us 3 of them, and I just ordered. If you notice, Tyler, I ordered a medium in pink, and I was like, "Listen, girls, whoever wants it, y'all have to fight for it." There's like 5 of them. I was like, and I just threw 3 of them out there, and be like, "May the fittest win."
There you go. That's the way to do it.
I'm excited to try mine. The packaging, I was telling Spin this before we started the show, like the whole orchestration of the product, like receiving the product is really, really nice. Like they send you that pack.
Very official.
They're like super like thick and like substantial feeling. Plus, I don't know if you felt this, John, but when I opened mine, something about it, the smell of it reminded me of kindergarten.
I can honestly say I did not have that experience. I didn't have the same experience.
They threw that in custom for me. That's the level that Frog Grips will go. All the way from Australia, they get that smell in there.
Kathy, Frog Grips are the best. Misha, 100% legit, total game changer. And then for Luja Jun or Jun, get some lifters. So people with bad ankle mobility, I would say it's a good idea. I think these are what Tia wears as well. I'm not sure about the slides.
Ours are in the mail, right?
Yes, they are on their way from
give me
China.
some of them slides.
Oh yeah, I would have ordered those, man. If I knew that was an option, you didn't give me that option.
No, you got to start lifting in them, John.
Dude, I will
lift in the slides.
I would post more of me lifting in those than lifters. Can you ask if we can get some? I will totally lift in those. I'm so serious. They will get so much publicity for me wearing these. I like those better than all the RS stuff.
Yeah.
Can you? Is that too much?
I'll see what I can do.
Where Ernie's at? Ernie, I will lift so much in those slides. Listen, I will try to set the record for most weight cleaned in those. As long as no Chinaman's, done any cleans.
Lucy Buhat, at this rate, you'll have Tia on the show with all her sponsors coming in.
She don't want this smoke.
Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, go check them out. lujanjun.com. We're still waiting on ours, but hey, we met Ernie over there at the CrossFit Games, and so yeah, checking them out. All right, big show for you guys, September 4th. We're gonna go into some viewer comments, a little bit of a PFAA kerfuffle.
It's not even really noteworthy.
So basically, if you missed it on Saturday, the great Pedro White somehow managed to get Pat and Brent on there on the show to talk about the PFAA and all of the inner workings. And then Savon brings the opposing side, brings on Saxon and Angelo de Chico, and had maybe a little bit different viewpoints. So we will we'll see, kind of talk about that. And then starting in 2 days, Colton, Taylor, Tudor, Hans, everybody that's beaten Taylor in the Kill Taylor series, it will be out there in California.
And Matthew will be there as well. He got a free ticket. No, I'm just kidding. You said everybody that's beaten Taylor, though. We got Matthias.
So yeah, that we'll go through that and what information we do have. Got some blind rankings, and then I'm ripping everything off of Pedro today. We will talk a little bit about CrossFit, the games, separating, what happens, all that stuff. Jake Foster had some input, and I want to talk about that. So
Angelo had a big week this week.
Angela's been everywhere.
Not working, I guess. Lazy sack of shit.
Show,
he's off season, man.
Trying to keep up with John. We'll go into viewer comments. If you guys want to be featured on the next show, drop your comments below, and I'll read out some of my favorites. At BGG7518, this show was awesome. Compliments are also at the top of the pile. Spin totally owned that Cooper guy digging into his IG followings. JY, don't be sad because other people are insecure. I am a female and I totally understand your opinion. We CrossFitters love you very much.
Well, thank you. I'm not sad.
It's really the most dangerous week for us.
Why is
especially you, John, because it did nothing but empower us worse than we already were.
That week is what you're saying.
That week.
Yeah.
At Maddie Ogden. John, I just want you to know that your comments inspired me to buy 2 of your JY Barbell shirts.
Oh, snap.
All right, do you have any left?
Just a couple. There's a couple. Yeah.
All right, we'll get them before they're gone.
Don't worry, everybody. A couple in every size and every type of t-shirt. You know, if I had to guess, if I truly, if I had to guess, I probably have, I'm going to say 162. And
hey, you're working your way through.
That is as accurate of a guess you're going to get to without me counting it. I'm going to say 162 shirts left is what we got going.
Dick Butter wants to know if there's any larges left. I think there might be 3 or 4 left. So
Absolutely.
You better hurry up.
Better hurry up. Yeah. It's on my wife's crochet site, Mustard Seed Crochet. If you just go to my Instagram, it's on the little drop thing, whatever that's called.
At Ken Walters. Man, I love how JY just leaned into the haters. That was beautiful. I was happy. I was very unsure how you were going to approach that last week. And
what did you think I was going to say?
I thought you were going to go the route of apologizing. Trying to avoid the conflict.
Oh, I would have gone after you harder than the comments did if you had apologized.
I know. There was a couple of people at my gym that wanted me to apologize, and I was like, "Y'all, like, you don't watch the show. Like, I can't apologize. Like, it's. I am a man of my word. Okay. Now, regardless, if whatever I say is offensive or whatever, I say everything with 100% honesty. It's my opinion. I'm never going to go back on it. I try to be caring and nice to everybody, believe it or not. But when I'm going to give my opinion, I'm not going to be political about it. I'm not going to sugarcoat things. This is exactly what I think. And, if you hate me for it, you hate me for it. If you like me for it, you like me for it. And that's how it's going to be.
I want to apologize to absolutely nobody. And Tina Osborne, love the honesty, John. You said nothing wrong, and I think you are a handsome young man.
Thank you, Tina. You must be between the ages of 34 and 50.
I don't know. It'll fit your demographic, though.
Tends to fit my sweet spot right there. Tina, if you're between those ages, you need to comment on this episode. Tina, no, regardless, just comment, whatever you are, let us know.
And if you fall between those ages, he has a programming that's just for you.
For you, Hey, I have a few guys on the train now. I think I have five guys. Yeah, I have 5 guys. And
have you told them that you only train them because you're attracted to them?
Their wives are just dimes, man. I'm just trying to get them on the train. No.
Whatever it takes. All right. Well, those were your comments. Drop them below. If you're not subscribing to the channel, do that at the same time. The PFAA Kerfuffle. Little arguments. Brent and Pat.
Clip?
What's that?
You gonna play the clip?
Which clip? Which clip do you want me to play?
The Kerfuffle.
I don't know.
The whole
that
damn
is there,
thing's a
John.
kerfuffle, John.
Oh, okay. I thought we were talking about where Brent kind of went behind Vellner's back and talked with Castro and Don and didn't tell anybody.
Well,
no, not that. Okay,
The whole
forget
the whole
forget
thing.
Forget I said it.
No, it's part. It's part of it. It's part of it. I don't have it queued up because I'm not that prepared. But, I guess first thing, the PFAA membership, the last 2 years, individual only. What do you make of that? Like, should that be what the PFAA is? Like, who is a voting member of the PFAA?
It's like if PFAA stands for safety, teams should definitely be allowed. I mean, like somebody made a point the other day that the teams is probably exponentially more dangerous than individuals.
Yeah,
if that's what
nobody cares about.
Yeah, but nobody cares.
Like,
and so you're really showing your colors.
Even for safety, we don't care about teams. Okay.
No, I mean, I think it's a valid question though. Like,
where do you set the line?
Where do you set the line? Like, we've talked about it, like on the individual side, how far down the line you go. I mean, teams, there's plenty of team athletes who have been there multiple years. I mean, Tola's been there for how many years in a row on a team? So
Andrea and Taylor, like, did they not qualify for?
Rich would not have been a voting member for all of his years.
If Rich is not good enough to be a voting member, then it's messed
your
up.
club sucks.
Yeah. I don't want to be a part of whatever you are a part of if Rich just doesn't qualify.
Yeah.
I think we should make Angelo the head of the PFAA.
Why do you say that?
You don't?
Mm-mm.
Why?
I don't think he can be trusted with power. I think that's why he stays out of it. He's like, oh, because if I get power, it's all downhill for everybody else but me.
Dude, Angelo strikes me as the type of guy that if responsibility is given to him, he would take it very, very seriously. But in not a scared way. Does that make sense?
Right.
Of what people might think, or stuff won't be stupid. There won't be word vomit. You wouldn't have a demand letter. You know what I mean? He'd there'd be a whole bunch of different things that would be different that I can't articulate correctly.
I think you're saying that because of like him being like, well, I went and sat at tables where people, I knew they would disagree with me. And then like he was saying that he messaged Brent and was like, it's okay. Like, I'm glad that we disagree about this. Like, I want to talk about it. And like, that's huge. So yeah, I'm playing a little bit about the power thing, but like, I don't know. I don't think he wants that.
No, I don't either. But I've never spoken to Angelo, but like ever, like one-on-one ever. So I don't know him as a person. Everything I've heard from him just seems like somebody who's not afraid to say what they believe. And then if you have the athlete's best interest in mind, that's the type of person that somebody can, people can get behind and follow.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm there to say he should be the leader of it.
I'm kind of joking with the leader of it. He's never said anything.
No, I get it
at all. But
I do think that there needs to be opposing viewpoints.
Should there? Well, I think it's hilarious that you're like, he should be the head of it. And it's like, well, okay, do we even want it to be a thing?
I'm not against it. Okay, I think he should, a guy like Angelo, maybe not Angelo, but like there should be people who share his point of view in the PFAA.
If it exists
as members, right?
Yeah, okay.
Like exactly. And Spin, who brought it up? Because I don't remember who brought it up, where they were like, it was said all of PFAA all are like one clique, essentially. They was worded differently, but what I'm saying?
I think Saxon brought that up of who
Saxon. Okay.
Who everybody like.
I think that's the greatest point you can make is that. And as far as if you're going to have an athlete, people speaking for the athletes, it should be like all types of different opinions in one group, right? Not just 5 people who think the same.
Yeah, I think going back to Tyler's question though, like, should there be a PFAA, or does there need to be a PFAA?
If you don't screw up, this never becomes a problem. And that's the thing. Like, I don't even think it was the death of Lazar that has gotten us to this point. The PFAA has been around for a few years. It's like they just continue to, like, CrossFit created this problem.
Right. They would say the same about CrossFit.
What?
Like, there wouldn't be a need for us if CrossFit did what they're supposed to do. That's what they would say. They would say the same. What you are saying, they would say the exact same thing about CrossFit. So,
right.
Like, you have to try to see it from their point of view.
I do.
And I don't necessarily think that there's not a, like, it shouldn't be there. But if it is there, all the responsibility should be, like, either give the responsibility to them and it needs to be fair and we all need to agree upon it, or you're kind of a laughingstock a little bit. You know what I mean? Because you're not doing anything, right? And that's kind of where they are now. But I'm saying I think it should be one way or the other. Either not have it, or they should be in charge of safety regulations. You should have 5 people of different viewpoints, and none of them should be existing athletes.
How do you know when you set it up of different viewpoints? I guess that's
that's a great point.
Like,
how they voted.
I don't know if you'd say that if you look at the list.
I bet you get one person from California, one person from Texas, one person from Canada, one person from Florida. They all think
I'm mad. There's no representative from Kentucky there.
And then one person, Austin Hatfield, could be the West Virginia.
I'll accept that.
I guarantee you get 5 people from just different regions. They would have different viewpoints.
Yeah. I guess the question I have is like, how did the
Seher Kaya needs to be the Asia?
If Seher Kaya is not the dang head of the PFAA, I swear.
No, you got Dina Swift and Engelbrecht, both from Africa, representing Asia and Africa. Yeah, I think maybe the problem is early on, the only people who were active in the PFAA had the same opinion.
Well, yeah, because and that tends to be how a situation goes, like this.
Right. And so now you're in a situation where things are being demanded as a representation of the athletes, and it doesn't speak to everybody.
It's not represented by the athletes.
Yeah. John?
And I spoke with another athlete who said they got like an email saying, hey, we're going to have this video conference, and then they never got anything ever again. And this is a games athlete. So as far as like speaking for the athletes, they got one email, and it was kind of like the big voice call. Like, if you want to come, you can come. And then they were never asked their opinion on anything. They were never talked to by anybody ever again throughout the entire games season. And this is a person that was at the games, you know what I mean? Like an individual games athlete.
Yeah.
Nobody that people would expect me to hear this from. I would say it's none of my people that I like have a correspondence with.
It's not Austin, or
it's not Austin. It's not Hopper.
Grayson.
It's not Dallin. It's not anybody that I like have a correspondence with.
It's like Hopper.
I promise it's not.
No, I think even Brent made that comment that they haven't rolled off the 2022 athletes and brought on the 2024 athletes, which is interesting because they put the statement out and didn't bring in the athletes who are new.
Not a lot of transparency.
And if you think about it, I don't think any of the rookies withdrew. I think all the rookies competed throughout.
Yeah. Claudia Gluck was the European. I was trying to think of the European people. Gluck, there was one more for the women, right?
Amy.
No, there's another one I'm trying to think of. I can't remember her for the life of me. Keep going.
Kiesman.
Yeah, Linda Kiesman.
Yeah, but they all competed, and I know
Linda, you need to
was
start doing some stuff. You're a very forgettable person. I never remember Linda Kiesman for anything.
I
Like
disagree.
you need to have like there needs to be an event where you show out. I know
There
we're all
is
about
very
our
little
weaknesses.
known about
I
her.
need a strength, Linda Kiesman, where you come out and show out. So I just need one, and then I'll remember you forever. But like right now, you're very forgettable, and I don't want that. I don't like that. I want to remember you.
she's
Help
training
me.
a think tank, so Tyler knows her.
Oh, that's the problem.
I got you.
You're training
Your correspondent.
I'm just
John, you have your avenue of knowing people because they're good at stuff. I got my avenue for knowing people because they're in TTT. All right, don't take this from me.
I got you.
Linda is my Sarah.
So Linda, you just keep being mediocre at everything, Linda. You don't do anything out of the ordinary.
This afternoon or this morning, Christoph Horvath back on Instagram put out a
looks
big
like
long.
He's getting ready to spit a mad rap like this track, and
I don't know what's going on here.
Spitting bars here.
One shot, one opportunity.
I will say, if you have that Yeti microphone, you should probably get rid of it. It sucks.
Yeah, get a new one.
That's how he had that
So
song
bad.
playing in his head when he was typing this out. He's got one shot at it.
That's right. Basically, I'll kind of summarize here. If you as an athlete competing at any in-person stage at the CrossFit Games, with all its unknown and unknowable, one thing is guaranteed. If you raise safety concerns, you get brushed off or ignored. If you're hurt competing, you mostly can't count on a swift and appropriate response. He brings up Scott Panchik, raising his voice about the rope length, which Saxon, during the show with Savon, said that Scott went to the next week's thing and said, you need to have these cut, and CrossFit cut them. It sounds obvious to have the ropes cut off the ground, but I guarantee if you go to half the CrossFit gyms around the world, the rope is wrapped around on the floor.
Yeah, mine are long. Yeah, it's
part of it.
Unfortunate, but yeah.
And a lot of times
they cut it the next week. I kind of think this one's fair because Scott did say beforehand, "Hey, can we cut these?" But then I also think it's fair that CrossFit was like, "We started the competition already. We can't cut them." Even if they don't know they could have. Like, this one is valid in my opinion, but the fact that they did cut them next week, like, it wasn't. I feel like it was just a thing where they were like, "We already started. We can't cut them," and then that is.
It was late.
It's a terrible thing. I mean, it's a bad thing that happened to Scott, right?
Yeah.
But
how many years? I mean, so many years. It's been like, I get it. But how many, again, gyms all over the world, many athletes have done it.
Is the Vidison? He ended his case with the Rebecca Vidison.
I know. It's like, dude, you had so much better examples to choose from, and you chose Vidison.
Mm-hmm.
So he says Vidison was falling from the rope to receive medical help on live television, takes medical over 5 minutes.
Do a little research. You know what I mean? His whole point for that one was that it took medical very long to get to her. Not that it happened, but it took a long time. She was rolled on the floor for a long time.
Right.
But then if you just do a little bit of research, the venue required them to be, it's their medic team. It's not CrossFit's medic team. They didn't allow CrossFit to have a medical team on the floor.
Right.
It was the venue's medical team.
Right.
And they are the people that are responsible for Rebecca and that thing. It's not even CrossFit.
Right. And so Hiller comments, CrossFit staff was not allowed to provide any medical service in France. It had to come from the venue. I believe even Elliot Simmons got into the comments about some things, and people are complaining about, well, Rebecca was allowed after she fell from the rope to continue competing. Yet last year they stopped.
Bitching.
Everybody was complaining that they pulled Alex Corona out, right? And saying, well, you can't continue with the competition because you're hurt. You didn't try hard enough. And so Rebecca hurt herself and they didn't pull her off the competition. I saw somebody say, well, every other sport makes you sit out and you can come back after the next event. Well, her season's over at that point. You take a 0 on it.
Yeah, you can't.
You're
do
done.
that.
Right. Like, so everything is great to listen to and say after the fact. And he says the harsh reality is the one thing you can't count on is appropriate safety measures put in place. That is proven by history of our sport. Staff and medical at the games and semis cannot work on a volunteer basis. With significant cuts being made, safety cannot suffer that.
And I don't disagree with that.
No, that's not. Yeah, I don't have any problem with that, but
it's just your examples are rough.
So bad.
And then he goes on Threads. I don't know if anybody's still on Threads, but Christoph is.
I actually got rid of it the other day.
Posts on there and then shares it on Instagram, like, staying in the whole meta universe. And then goes along and does a very long post.
Very long. Jesus.
It's quite the long. And so, part of it is he's saying that on here, we have to identify the road all athletes are willing to walk side by side. The participants of the competitive space are unique. This isn't a team sport. Everyone is out there to fend for themselves. Because of that, the present opportunities sometimes blind us from looking ahead. So basically, everybody needs to come together and ask for the same thing. And this one seems to be in the name of safety. Laura then has since shared both of those posts. Do you thoughts on Christoph taking those stances? Like, I mean, do you think there's anything that all 80, let's just even keep it at the individual, like all 80 athletes can agree upon? Like that's meaningful.
No, I don't think you need 100% agreement, but it's like if you have, 60% agreement.
How about
like
59?
Okay. I could see that.
58.
I mean, like I think the PFAA proves that it's like there needs to be some sort of collection that all the athletes can go to. They can voice their opinion, vote on something, and say, "Hey, do we even really care about this?" It's like the whole time you're talking about this, I'm like, has anybody really reached out, really gotten all the athletes' attention and said, "Hey, do you all give a shit about the safety? Really?" Or do you think it's
They
good?
probably should have asked that in his interview of all the athletes. He interviewed all the individual athletes. He probably, if he would have asked that question, he'd have been in the clear.
I think if you would have asked the athletes on YouTube,
I'm saying he's the only one that's spoken to all of the athletes that were like for the. I know it's not 80 with the teams and stuff, but or it is. Yeah, he spoke to all 80 of them. He's the only one who's spoken to all 80 of them. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah. 79.
On a person-to-person basis, like I'm,
Yeah, Ivan did not get to talk. What's interesting is like Christoph is speaking up about this, and so is Elliot Simmons. Both of them would not be eligible for the PFAA.
What are they grandfathered in?
I think they're just speaking in generalities. Like they support the PFAA, but they could not even be part of the PFAA.
What are stipulations again?
You have to be.
For those of us that don't know, just for the people,
we don't qualify, John.
I obviously know, but like for the people,
do you know, John? Do you?
You can articulate a lot better than I can.
Right.
So go ahead and tell what are the stipulations? If I wanted to be in the PFAA, what would I have to do? Go ahead.
Quit.
You would have to be 18 years old.
Check.
You have to be an elite, active in the elite individual category.
Does the Brazil study qualify you for elite or no? I'm sorry, that was pro. That was pro.
This is elite individual.
Okay,
Sorry.
so you have to make the games as an individual.
The games as an individual CrossFit semifinals
so
or a
Christoph's
similar
out.
event.
So Brent should comment on Christoph. You're not qualified to comment on things like this, man. So if you could back the freak off, that's what Brent should comment on Christoph's post, is what you're telling me.
We speak for the athletes in saying shut the hell up.
Yeah, I don't understand the CrossFit semifinals. The male and female individual. The male and female individual one step below the CrossFit Games qualifier position. So if 10 qualify, number 11 is considered a performance member.
Oh, okay. That's kind of fun. Why?
Scaled? So it's scaled.
Yes, you're the scaled PFAA performance member.
I wonder if they should give them a special shirt. Like that way, like you're in the club, member. But like you're a DEI member, right? Like that's what you are.
Performance member.
Yeah, I don't get it. So, and then IF3 World Championship.
That's probably the easiest one.
Top 3 female and male finishers.
Christoph, go win that.
Does that
so
means that I think IF3 was who finished? I don't even know who was in there. Was the open girl in there? What's her name?
Mirham.
I don't know. She might have been. I think she did that. And then any other functional fitness competitions that host elite individuals or comparable designation.
And I guess that's Crucible to the whim of whatever they think.
That's what it's not clear, right? Like I assume Wadapalooza, Rogue. Yeah. I don't know.
If Taylor competes at the Crash Crucible this year, there's no way that's not.
Taylor was one spot out of qualifying, wasn't he? He would qualify. Wasn't he? He was the one spot out. He's a performance member.
Let's get.
Was he?
Was he one spot or 2 spots?
I think he was 2.
Seth Stovall was the first spot.
Almost a performance member.
So close. Seth, yeah.
Bet you're really kicking yourself now, Taylor.
That would have been rich if Taylor was one spot out. He could just be like, "Listen, as a member of the PFAA, I would like to say that this is effing retarded. Like what we're doing."
Sabir and Kelly, what is the IF3, the International Functional Fitness Federation?
James Fitzgerald is trying to make CrossFit into the Olympics, and this is what he's using his template as.
It's more standardized.
I don't think he's part of it anymore.
I thought he made it.
He did make it.
Yeah, but I don't think he's actually Gretchen Kettelberger is kind of like the one that's in charge now. I will say I did find the movement standards for the IF3.
They're great.
Do you think so?
Yeah, they're so good.
You're right, Spin. Mirham won.
See?
Mirham and Victor.
The IF3?
Youngall. Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
Youngdahl.
Movement standards for the International Functional Fitness Federation. They're trying to get into the Olympics, but they have movement standards for everything. But Tyler's not a big fan of it because why, Tyler?
There's no pictures, dude. How are you going to have a movement library with no pictures?
I agree with Tyler.
Or videos.
Air squat. You start standing tall, you end standing tall, and you have to achieve the bottom of a squat.
That's like playing charades, but you're just telling people what to do. And like they're not allowed to do it until you tell them what to do.
Right.
So like if it's raining, I'm saying, Tyler, raise your hands. And then do spirit fingers on the way down.
Oh wait. Okay,
and now he has to connect that that's raining. He's got to try to figure that out.
There's no way.
There's no way. There's no way.
And so the bottom of the squat, the 2-foot version, achieving a full squat with the crease of the hip below the plane of the top of the knee. And so the hip is defined as the joint between the femur and the hip bone.
I got a big hip.
There you go. Lots of words, 164 pages, I think it is.
Tell me you have small hips without telling me you have small hips.
You know who's got small hips? Spin.
Hiller.
Spin's hips are small.
got small
He's
hips?
got a hard time bending that
That's
hip
right.
crease below the knee.
That's right.
His hip crease.
It's true. It's true. So yeah, if you ever want to learn how to do a movement and what that is, check it out. IF3.
How long you think, Tyler? If I gave you $10, would you read that cover to cover?
I probably would one day if I got
But like legitimately,
really
read
the
it.
best way to
You
do
have
it
to read
would be to
push
get me
up,
pissed off.
2 hands. Like you have to actually read everything. You can't just be like, I know what a push up is. All right, right? Like actually read every word. That'd be rough. That'd be rough.
Who says it all the time? Hiller or Sevon?
All right, rep start. Standing free.
This is a peg board.
Climbing.
You're going to start standing free. You're going to end standing free. And you're going to insert pegs into target holes.
Check. Got that down.
And then you insert pegs into holes below the designated descent mark.
Done that too.
And you may return to the rep start in any controlled manner.
I hate the hyphen on peg. It really is not great. Can you scroll up so people know what I'm talking about?
The peg.
It's that's a rough hyphen.
Yeah. So yeah, that might be my favorite one. I've only gone through a handful, but
what does that mean? Measurements, target, designated descent line can be. What's the target? Your top spot? I need definitions. Is there a definitions page?
See, but I go straight to when you listen to Pat and Brent with Pedro, one of their things was like, you're going to change the burpee standard on us the day of the competition. What if the pegboard is a different
pegboard,
different pegboard, or the holes are different, or
you can't handstand walk on turf versus the Coliseum,
right? Like that's where I'm like,
if it just says handstand walk and there's obstacles in there, people aren't crying about it,
right? And that's where I'm struggling with. You can't outline everything that you're going to see, right? Like everybody thinks there's a pegboard that's a certain way, but what if there aren't holes in the middle and they're 2 feet apart versus 6 inches apart, right? It makes it more something crazy.
We have to standardize the pegboard.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, what if the pegboard comes different? One pegboard that rules them all.
Yep.
I did see.
So happens that's sold by an IF3 vendor, and you have to go through them preferred. Yeah, approved vendor.
Spin. Were you around when Sevon interviewed James Fitzgerald, and then he called? What does James call it, Tyler?
What, the IF3?
No. He doesn't. No. He doesn't call it OPEX Fitness. When he called functional, it's not functional fitness, but he called whatever definition that Fitzgerald puts on it. He called that CrossFit, and then I've never seen Sevon so like
dug in.
What the freak is happening right now? Like James got so mad, and he was like, "That's not CrossFit," and like straight up went on like a 10-minute berate on Sevon. And Sevon was just like so confused. I remember amazing. It is amazing.
I don't remember that
dude
being that nuts.
Dude, I remember the episode.
I gotta go back and watch.
So just type, just figure. I'll find it. But James Fitzgerald. This is back when Sevon. I guess he's still interviewing.
I remember it. I remember when James.
This was a while ago, right?
Weren't you? Were you on?
No, not on that show. No.
Okay.
I was doing things. I was around. I was around.
Was it 2 years ago or was it? Oh, here we go.
James Fitzgerald and then I would type, and then it's like near the end of it. But I will find it and put it in the group. And then if you want to
we'll make a reel or something.
Clip it. I don't think Brian was on either. I really think
green. Look at that green. The green words.
This is explaining the difference between CrossFit and OPEX.
So well, maybe this is it. Yeah,
I don't remember.
I don't remember Brian being on it, but people, this is amazing. Like, you should go listen or find this out. It is so fun. If y'all don't know, James Fitzgerald is the first CrossFit Games champion of all time. He won in 2007, and then he competed for 2 more years, and then the sport kind of outgrew him. And then
got into a huge divorce with CrossFit.
I don't know what twisted him up so much to get so mad at CrossFit, but he hates CrossFit. So now he invented a new thing that's the same as CrossFit. And if anybody calls it CrossFit, he gets so mad. It's like calling a Mexican Cuban. Like, he gets so mad. So mad.
I think it's the other way around, but okay. That was pre-StreamYard. That was I think it was Riverside or whatever, or River.
I don't know. I wasn't on the back end yet.
That is around the Lost episode time period.
Is it really? That's your first episode?
The only thing I remember about OPEX was one of the first opens. It might have been 2012 when they did bar facing burpees, and they used 5-pound change plates. As
Yes.
jump over.
I remember those.
The debacle of that. Yeah. Honestly, I think that's smart. They didn't say anything about that. It didn't say anything about it. It didn't say you couldn't. Well, I think they're just, searching for anything.
It was the unnatural movement clause that, like, hey, you knew what you had to do, but you went ahead and used
But the more we keep talking about this PFAA stuff, the more I'm like, the longer we go down this road, the more everything starts to look like the Rogue rule book, and it's just like no one had fun.
You like that.
You
love that.
You were a fan of it. You loved it. Yeah. Me and
you wanted 15 pages for
trash, and you're like, it's Tyler's trash. Yeah, that's what you said.
You loved it.
I don't remember loving it.
You were a huge fan.
I don't remember loving it.
You serious? I'm gonna pull that up at some point.
Hey, do y'all want to do an award show? I was thinking about this. It's probably the wrong time.
Don't you steal my idea, you son of a bitch.
No. Because like the games kind of ended real quickly, and they didn't really and they didn't have a ceremony, and it was all awkward at the end, right? What I'm saying is, would y'all want to come up with some superlatives and hand them out on a show?
Didn't we have
superlatives or what?
The best,
like for the games.
Oh, wait.
Like rookie of the year or best camp best moment or
we did do something like that last year, I thought.
Yeah, I thought we did too. And like I know we were clowning around with superlatives beforehand, but it wasn't that was something different. I'm saying like we should
we also did one after semifinals or quarterfinals.
Right,
we did the mid-year. We could update those.
Yes, I think we should do an end of the year show where we hand out like our fake awards to people. You know what I mean? Our
next
fake
week
awards show.
Next week we'll update 2024 CrossFit Games season award show.
Austin texted me. He goes, "Hey man, do you think I'm going to get the Rookie of the Year award, or they're not doing that?" And I'm like, "You're probably not getting nothing, man."
Are you mad because I already found MVP?
MVP.
Yeah.
I thought we disagreed on that.
No, I'm right.
I thought you guys agreed, but didn't realize you were agreeing.
That's usually how our argument.
I don't know. We'll all come up with our own. We'll all come up with our own. And you can throw your scientific way on it, and we'll see who the crowd. There we go. We'll have you come up with a list, man. I know you already got one of them.
I got some. I'll add to it.
Yeah. And then we will
get gay headphones at your mom's house.
We'll all have our answer to it, and then if we have a disagreement, the chat can decide on who the winner is, and that's who we'll hand it to. Sound fair?
Sounds good. Judy Reed, most based was Marco Coppola.
Can you guys explain to me what based means?
It just means Republican.
Oh.
It means saying something that you don't care if you get pushback or what most people won't say.
Most acidic would be Democratic.
No, that's just woke.
Okay.
Tyler would know.
It's the inverse of saying woke.
If we have based, we should have acidic. Like I don't like.
Now you're getting
or
nerdy
woke.
about
You should
it.
be sleep. Right?
Dude, you're trying to put sense to a generation that says the word Riz. What are you talking about? Or the skibbity? Why are you trying to make this make sense?
Hey,
Just
skibbity
let it
bibbity
be.
is tight, man.
Based in Saxon. What'd you guys think of Marco and his video series of?
I didn't watch it.
It was so good until the last one. The last one was fine. I think he just could have not done it. And
Well, Tyler, can you summarize it for me? Because I'll be honest, like there's a lot of drama going on, a lot of drama.
You don't like drama,
and I'll be honest with you, the strong women thing kind of just made me like
knocked you down.
I just don't care about like anything right now. You know what I mean? So like if there's something like, oh, did you hear who said this? I'm like, nope, I didn't hear anything. So can you summarize it for me? I just kind of tuned everything out for the last like month of other media. You know what I'm saying? Just with
basically
like
Marco laid out what happened behind the scenes at the games, and his stance, or like his particular perspective, is that he was on a team and he doesn't really have anything to lose. He's like, I don't make my money off of this. I don't have sponsors.
Sure.
So he was just given like a flat out, like, and he would say like, this is the way I saw it. Like, I don't know who said it. He was kind of based. He had a more conservative tilt to him, or a more, I would say, go ahead.
Yeah, he called I mean, it was kind of funny because he's like, I'm not going to mention anybody by name, but the blonde girl on Peak 60,
That's funny.
The captain of Peak 360.
That's hilarious.
I think he called out Angelo by the captain of Mayhem. Like, it was so clear who it was.
Yeah. We'll just call him Maya Angelou.
Yeah. and basically kind of, he spoke about what happened during the meeting and how people who were afraid to speak up were not talking, right? And they were a lot of the rookies, right? Because he mentioned like some of these new people were afraid to speak up when a lot of the veterans were giving their perspective that may have been different.
It was like an important account. Like, we'd not had like kind of just an unfiltered version of what happened. I'm sure it's not completely unfiltered, but for the most part, it's like, it's pretty straight up. Like, this is what happened behind.
Yeah, I think we knew a lot of what had happened, but like to have that detailed perspective walking through the whole thing, kind of give you insight of what it was. I'm sure his recollection of things probably differs from, say, the blonde girl from Peak 360, who, she said that he was bullying her, and he says she was bullying him about the 1 minute. So like those types of things, like, again, like the context and how things were said, we're only getting Marco's perspective. But he talked about that. He talked about the 1 minute kind of thing and how that was sprung up on him and his team within like 5 minutes before going on the floor. I think he brought up even like, and one thing I've heard it talked about several times about how the whole Noah thing and saying, well, he talked to Dave and Dave was going to see what he could do about giving back the minute. That makes zero sense to me. Dave doesn't have to ask anybody to give back a minute. Why would he have to check with anybody to give back a minute?
I'll see what I can do.
Right? Like, that makes zero sense. Like,
I think the second he says something like
that, you're like, yeah, I'm not getting it.
Be like, you're not gonna get the minute back.
Right. And I think that's what it probably was said something like that.
No.
Right. Like, yeah, I'll see if I can do something. Like, no.
That is Dave's polite way of saying no.
Right. And it wasn't interpreted that way.
Right.
And so he kind of went through it, and then I was with him the whole time. And then I think in the next to last video, he kind of talked about how the athletes do need to have a voice and have a say in what happens. And I started to like, it was like a complete 180 from everything where it seemed like he was going. And then the last one was just covered the last part of the competition. It wasn't, it completed the circle of everything about the weekend that he had been to, but it wasn't anything that was going to really, it was more his experience of the weekend versus kind of give an insight that nobody had heard before. So, Vindicate, that sounds like Dave saying it, complete sarcasm.
I'm sure it was pretty like very nice at the time.
Right. So,
It was good. So what was your original question about Marco?
what do you think about those comments? John hadn't seen it, so
Oh, he kind of we went through it just then.
I mean, I think it was an interesting take on everything that has happened.
Yeah, it's like I wanted it way sooner. I wish he had done it like just during, like,
could have just asked around, man.
It would have been amazing. Next time, Marco, next time this happens, call in to Sevon's show and do that. Like, here's what happened at the athlete.
You'd have had like 500,000 people watch that show. Yeah.
I understand why he didn't, but that's really when we wanted it.
It's respectful not to.
Did you guys watch Facundo on Tuesday?
Yes. Very good.
Judy Reed, did you catch this about Facundo telling Savon someone from the PFAA wanted to make sure prize money only went to individuals and not the team? I did not catch all of it. I caught part of it.
I didn't see that part.
What's the why for that?
It makes sense, dude. Don't understand?
No.
They're the individuals who are on it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Well, so they don't qualify to be in the PFAA, so they shouldn't be paid.
Possibly.
Because you're not in individuals.
Right.
Lupe says that's not what he said.
I care about the teams more than the PFAA cares about the
Lupe, how he called him Lupe. Lupe, we don't care. We only care about 50% facts.
Tell us what really happened, Lupe.
And now Judy Reed said because teams prize purse is less and you wanted to be sure the individuals got more.
Fair enough.
Lupe said he meant the team's pot would go to the teams, the indie pot would go to indies.
Is that not what normally happens?
I think if you're going to split it up evenly.
Oh, if you're going to split it up evenly, that is different.
Well, there's a lot more money. There's a lot more money going to a lot to people on individuals than there are.
Yeah, that's stupid to begin with, though.
Didn't Judy do the accounting for Sevon on the number of tips and stuff?
She did.
Judy, if you're wrong on this, it's that we're gonna have to take your accounting privileges away.
Augustus is waiting in the wings, Judy, and he is chomping at the bit. Okay.
All right. Well,
double down, Judy.
I don't know if I can talk about the PFAA anymore until something happens. I know
nothing's going to happen.
Everybody's waiting for something to drop. Waiting for a response.
You heard it here first.
Before
I like how you called out that during Pedro's podcast, somebody would go off screen and somebody would cry. And I'm like, that doesn't super count.
What is a better call? Austin getting exactly 10th place or me calling somebody would cry and walk out of the screen?
Austin getting 10th place.
That is wild how that happened. Because
I don't know, John.
That happened and I was like, what is going on? Like, I didn't believe it. I didn't believe it either. I kind of looked up. I'm like, are you like messing with me? Like, am I like
moving on, the NorCal Classic in Granite Bay, California this weekend.
Real quick. Will this be live streamed?
Not to my knowledge. I don't think it's ever been live streamed.
So if we wanted to keep tabs on it, what would you have? What do you do? Just
in real time, you can watch Competition Corner.
Going old school, man.
Oh man, that's unfortunate.
Daniel Wynn, $5. Appreciate it. Just give to indies, not teams, because they get less. You mean like the losers? Yes, I think that's exactly how it was said.
The Kristoffs of the world. They don't.
Yeah, Kristoff, you get nothing.
Money. Dude, can you pull up Pink Shorts comment? You know which one I'm talking about? That is devastating.
Oh yeah, that's.
Do you know? I think one of you clicked on it. Yeah.
Oh man,
it's so far back.
Did they star it?
I did.
It's in the starred ones. Can you pull it up?
Is my level just like totally down?
This one. Yeah. Imagine fumbling Gabby Magala and then
that is such a I we probably never will. It's none of our business why if they're broken up, but If that is true, that is the craziest thing of all time. Like, that is so just sad, really. I wish we could get a story to that. I'm more interested in that whole what am I looking for here? Relationship.
You're not into the drama, but you're into that drama.
No, yeah. This is my like lifetime movie. Like I want to watch this lifetime. Yeah. This is my Bachelorette. I want to know what happened in this whole situation with Laura, Gabby, and Kristoff. I'm more interested in that than if Dave stays, than if the PFAA, the demand letter, than really the NorCal Classic if I don't get to watch it. I'm more interested in knowing the ins and outs of that than anything else. Well, I think Crash might mean more to me. So like once we get to Crash, it'll be nicer. But right now, that's the most important thing that I want to find out that I don't know.
No, I mean Gabby posted a story yesterday, I think it was, of her in a movie theater alone, just waving at whoever took the picture.
Have you ever been to a movie alone?
No, I'm not gay.
It's an amazing experience, dude.
It was completely empty. There's nobody else in the whole thing. I don't know.
I felt bad saying. I felt that my inner Taylor came out. I'm sorry for that. I didn't mean to say that. So.
In my defense, I watched The Big Short alone. No one was going to go watch The Big Short with me.
It's a great movie.
It's so good.
Was there anybody else in the movie theater?
Yeah.
Okay. So I didn't.
I love movies. I love going to the movies, but I will make sure somebody goes with me. Or I watch a lot of stuff on my laptop. Like you can get every movie that's in the movies. Like
I like going to the movies though.
No, I do too, but it's an experience. I want to share it with somebody, right? Like if I don't have anybody to go, I'll just watch it illegally.
Oh, sorry, we're diverting hard right now. But my brother's bachelor party's this weekend, but Beetlejuice comes out. And I don't know if you know this, but Indiana is full of drive-in movie theaters. And I want to go to a drive-in and watch Beetlejuice so bad. And I can't because my brother's stupid bachelor party.
Why don't you go there for the bachelor party?
Because it's in Tennessee. They don't have any drive-ins where we're going.
Drive-ins,
not in East Tennessee, dude.
No. Yeah. So NorCal Classic. John, any last words? Or are you just really excited to follow the leaderboard?
I wish we knew the events. We don't even know the events.
That's a very good point.
Let's look at the athletes.
Let's look at the athletes first because we do know that. It is a big show. It is the showdown between Colton Tudor and Mr. Taylor himself. On the men's side, I did call out some of the top athletes. Sean Sweeney, the defending NorCal Classic champion, will be back. Elijah Muhammad is in the he's a games veteran, but I don't think he'll be fighting for the podium.
He should not be in that list. I'm sorry.
He's a CrossFit Games veteran.
Dude,
I felt weird.
He's not going to be close to these guys, though.
Yeah, he didn't win his Masters.
Matt
division,
Chan shows up. You're going to put him in that list too?
I could say
Asia Bartow
decides to travel outside of Canada for once. You're going to put him in there?
Hey, they announced he was going to be there. He is a CrossFit Games veteran. I didn't say that these were the top athletes who were going to do anything, but yeah, Elijah will be in attendance. Matt Rattay, the fastest guy on his hands. He could give Tudor a run for his money if it's a handstand walk race.
Dude, that will be fun. I hope there is a handstand walk, but like in a race format, because I don't know if there's anybody faster than Matt. Like I know Tudor's really fast in his hands, but Matt is
the fastest.
Matt's the fastest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. And then then there's a whole bunch of semifinal athletes down there.
Real quick, hey, how much did Masters win? The Masters winner, how much did they win?
Depends on which age group.
The best one.
25,000.
Will, go take your 25,000 and go somewhere else, okay? My finish projections are better than everybody else out there. Just because you can prove me wrong once, don't mean you get to just that's what there always are. Okay? I'm happy for you. Be fit and leave me alone.
Well, John's had a rough go at it these past couple weeks. We need you to lay off.
I love women.
There you go. Pool boy Michael Olivis is there. Taylor Self down there, semifinals athlete.
God, my stupid camera.
And then on the women's side, only one games veteran on the individual side, Carolyn Prevost.
Can you scroll up real quick?
What do you need?
I want the men's field again. Keep going.
Going all the way up here.
Yeah. Okay, I see how you categorize this. I feel bad for Taylor, man. You did him dirty.
Why did I do that?
I just think he's better than everybody you have him with, and then there's people that are not good.
It's not about that.
That are on a higher tier.
I categorize them based off of the furthest they've made it in the
You
games.
should categorize them by how good they're going to do in the competition.
That's for you to do, John.
Yeah.
Well,
Then Will can yell at you and everybody else.
All right, go to the women. Carolyn Prevost is going to mop up City.
You think so? Emily Ruthwill, Lauren Stallwood.
I think so. Yeah.
And then you go on down to the semifinal athletes: Liz Wishart, Elia Miller, Emily White, Caitlin Sanders, Trista Smith. I think Trista has a chance.
Yeah, I do too.
I think she was the highest of anybody
on that list.
Yeah, I really
in the semifinals.
I think it'll come down between her and Carolyn, and it'll be dependent on what the events are. Like if we knew the events, I think all three of us would be like, that person's going to win. And I really just think it's going to be between those two. I think it just wasn't a good. They weren't great for Carolyn, the events and semifinals. But Carolyn is a games veteran. She's been there repeatedly. She is just fitter than the other women. But Trista's up and coming, and you give her a couple good events. If she is home run and this event Carolyn's bad at, then absolutely.
Yeah, the only thing we know is there is a swim, and there's this.
Which Trista's probably going to be pretty good at, but Carolyn's decent at too.
The gymnastics piece?
Yeah.
I think I heard her talk. I think she was talking on Clydesdale about it, and she was not thrilled with it. Not to say that she won't be good at it, but she has
an Instagram post on it. You want to pull her up? She looks better than this girl.
Does she? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe it was before she started practicing.
So the reverse one, I can do it, but I haven't tried it after all this stuff. The reverse one is really hard. The forward roll into getting back on the bar, that one is the hardest one for me. I've only done it once, and I was just clowning around. So, I have no idea if I could do it in this complex. I've never tried a kip up, however, whatever we're going to call that. I'll call it a kip up. I haven't tried that, but I imagine I could muscle a couple out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But no, I should try. You should try that complex. I'll try to do the whole thing and see if I can
I'll try
it.
that. In my new frog grips, I'll do it
The
tomorrow.
forward roll is not it's hard. It's harder than a reverse one for me because that one or the other way around. The what's it called? What is it called?
Roll to sport.
No.
The kip. They're the weird kip swings at the end.
No, the one that they did at the games.
Pullover?
Oh, a pullover. A pullover, you can just use your momentum. So, if you're good at manipulating your momentum, pullovers are not hard at all.
I can do that.
I can do like that, and then I can do that one, and then this one is the hardest.
The tricky one.
That's the hardest one for me, and you really got to get your upper body just over so fast, and if you don't, you have no shot.
I saw Pool Boy trying it, and he got stuck. He couldn't flip it over at the top.
And he's very good at gymnastics.
Right.
This looks the weirdest to me. What are they called? Those last couple things.
The kip ups.
Yeah, the kip ups or whatever.
So I like each thing individually. I think I can do, but
all together.
Put it all together. I bet that forward roll is very hard. I know Pool Boy is extremely good at gymnastics, and if he's getting stuck and he can't just just do it off athleticism, I bet it's pretty difficult. Hopper would be screwed at the NorCal Classic because we know he's not going to figure it out. Good thing it's Taylor, not Hopper, because Taylor's very good at all that stuff. So hopefully he can do it.
Judy Reed, Olivia Kerstetter not going. Not unless she somehow shows up on the leaderboard.
She will be at Crash though.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
If it's not announced, then I'm sorry.
I don't know. I have to check with JR.
It is.
I've not seen.
Okay.
I have not seen her announced, but
because I haven't seen it anywhere else.
There you
By
go.
the
That's
way,
the only reason I
breaking
know.
news.
I think I'm going to surprise you guys on who I'm going to pick to win Crash. It's a surprising pick.
It's Olivia Kerstetter.
That's all I'm going to say. No, on the men's side.
I don't know the men's athletes or the men athletes.
No, I mean when we cut, we got NorCal Classic, but
Yeah.
when we cover Crash, I'm just letting y'all know you are going to be surprised at who I
Dude,
picked to win.
The Crash athletes, the female list so far is freaking nuts.
Dude,
Carolyn.
the females are just as good as the men, and this is the first year that they have had the same amount of star power.
Yeah.
It's going to be the entire competition is going to be so fun. Like the women's battle is going to be amazing. And then the men's battles are always
I think the men's field actually is more top heavy, but I think the
How
women's.
have you both seen the men's field?
it's posted.
No,
is
it? It's not posted. The women's is.
Oh, I
know somebody, Tyler.
I know those
his
people
name
too.
is JR, Tyler.
I know. That's why I'm upset.
I would say it's the best field, men's and women's, they've ever
Period?
had.
Oh,
Yeah. No, I think the women's field, like you can see them right here. I mean, you got Carolyn Stanley, Kyra Milligan, Carolyn Prevost, Olivia Kerstetter, Fisa Goffey, Jordan Chefs, Liz Wishart, Lydia Fish.
I hate it when you do that.
What?
You name relevant people, and these are all great names, and then you go Jordan Chefs, and you just ruin the list.
he's
Like-
just ripped them off, dude.
I
What's
thought you
wrong
were
with
saying,
Jordan Chefs?
I thought you were saying these. Look how good these people are, and then like you name like just 5 names that are gonna be awesome to watch, and then
God.
somebody that's
I'm
not gonna
sorry,
do
John. She's also like missed qualifying for the games like 4 years in a row or something.
We
anything.
now
Yeah.
know
So who is
John-
that? Who's that? Annika Greer. Okay, that's who
Tyler
that is.
Christoffel.
Yeah.
Right.
We now know that John can never name anything unless it's in the proper order of the thing he thinks is
of
best.
of how it's going to be ranked. Sorry.
Yeah.
I hope Jordan Chefs does wonderful. I thought she shot I hope these crashes.
I think Jordan Chefs is beautiful.
Hey,
and
Amazing.
No,
Greatest athlete ever.
listen. Crash is known. Crash has been known to have some odd stuff, and this is true. Like it's not stuff you're going to see everywhere else. It's going to be a whole bunch. It's going to be a lot of stuff that you're only going to see at Crash, and when that happens, it's a little less in gym fitness and a little more who can adapt the best, right? I bet Vellner would love freaking Crash because that's one of his greatest attributes is the ability to adapt on the fly. It's a lot more athleticism and a little less fitness because it's stuff nobody's seen before who can figure it out the best. And if Jordan is very good at that, then she will succeed.
Have you seen the programming?
I plead the fifth.
I have not seen that, so you're fine, Tyler. I will say
I got more of an inside than Brian, though. I will tell you that.
I did give JR something that he might do regarding the workouts, which I don't think
tell me what that is, and I'll tell you if he's doing it.
It has nothing to do with the specifics of the programming, but how he
Dude.
announces it.
There
stay
is
tuned.
one workout that is a monster.
So you do know the programming, you
No, I'm
jackass.
just saying there's going to be a workout that is a monster.
so bad at hiding.
Like
Of course, he knows it.
monster. I don't know if I do or not, but if it is what I think, if it is what I think it is vicious.
You're so bad at walking this back.
He did say this, event 6. It's a shame that since 2015, they've only been programmed in CrossFit Games programmed competition once. Damn Diane online. 5 rounds, 25 calorie row, 16 chest to bar pull-ups, and 9 strict deficit handstand push-ups. So
was it on something weird that year? The deficit handstand push-ups?
what's that?
Probably blocks. I don't remember.
Hmm.
By the way, Jamie's in the chat. We should congratulate Jamie on the CrossFit Games, the Masters.
Congratulations, Jamie. I heard that was a
I
good
think she got 4th place. Is that?
I think that's right.
She was 4th last time I was watching it. I don't know if that was the final, but I think she got 4th place. 3rd. Keeping it real, she got 3rd. Somebody get popped.
Maybe it moved up to the last event.
But congratulations, Jamie.
3rd, excuse me, Pinheiro.
Okay, he's just feeding me wrong.
I think he's just throwing stuff out there.
We'll stick with what I know. Okay, I think Jamie got 4th. Congratulations, Jamie.
Back to NorCal Classic, the workouts. We don't know any of them. From what I've been told, basically they don't announce anything until the athlete briefing the day before the competition starts, which is crazy to me.
Makes for a short bitch window.
This has to be the biggest competition with the least amount of marketing. Like, they do nothing. They do nothing to help their competition.
They do. No, I think you're right.
Yeah,
I think actually everybody else, all the competitors have done more for them.
But I think they see themselves as like more of a local comp than they do like a serious comp.
You have Colton Mertens, Tudor Magda, Taylor Self competing at your competition. Elijah freaking Muhammad. He wouldn't show up to just anywhere, Tyler. He's a games veteran. Okay.
Look, I pulled my article up.
They do not market it very well. You have big names at this competition. You have a big prize pool.
It's big money. It was
right.
$25,000 for the winner,
and you don't market it at all. It's kind of frustrating. They're like, you should not pride yourself on we don't list the events until the competition starts.
Well, it's interesting because they worked with the PFAA on the swim protocols. Yet,
so they're not announced, but athletes do that, or I would say people know the workouts.
They know the swim.
They know the swim at least. I'm sure it's gotten out. I don't know. I think it's interesting that they partner with them. You have the PFAA asking about all this stuff, getting advance notice of things, and then this is like, you know, nothing. You're just going to show up. All you know is you need an equipment list, which includes bringing a brightly colored swim cap. That was 5 days ago. No white, brightly colored swim cap. So hopefully Amazon delivers to you quickly if you don't have one already. And there's a lot of divisions. I mean, there's RX, intermediate, scaled, masters.
Gloves.
They do a lot of old school CrossFit, just kind of down and dirty throwdown type stuff. So the only thing that I think they will, if you do want to watch it, I think Savon and Taylor will be doing shows after
each workout.
No, I don't know if it's after each workout, but at least after each
pre-post night,
after each day, because
with
Colton and Taylor are staying together with Savon, so they'll be doing something. But I wouldn't be surprised if Savon or somebody does some type of live stream on Instagram or something. But no official live stream, so sorry about you. But should be interesting to see how those three do. If you're going to put your money down on one of them, John.
I can't. I don't know anything about the competition, man. Like without knowing anything, if I know there's just
John, that's not the way the game works.
No, it is the way the game works. If I only know there's a swim, that's it. That's all I know. Then I would say Taylor has the advantage because he's going to be better than Tudor and Colton in that discipline. Taylor's very aerobically fit If there's some max squat clean event, then guess what? Taylor won't win because he's not going to do well in that event. And Colton is probably Colton in that point because Colton's not going to have any holes. But if they have,
we know all we need to know.
There is a floater workout. I did hear that.
Yep.
And the gymnastics thing, I know Taylor's going to be good at the gymnastics thing.
I hate floater workouts.
They're stressful.
I hate it too because it's not. You're all not doing the same race.
It makes it feel rinky-dink if you have a floater.
Yeah, they're a big competition trying to be a local competition, and that's weird.
Don't try to label them, John.
I don't know how you. I mean, they have like over $128,000 or $138,000 prize purse. Like, where is this money coming from? Is Blair and Ben just like ultra
They just got
rich?
that cash, bro.
Yeah, like it's wild. Like, that's a big payday for everybody.
Russell, floater means that athletes can do that event whenever they want to. You just have to do that event, but like they're not all at the same time.
Yeah, you
Usually
schedule
it's
it.
like a 5 minute. Run as far as you can in 5 minutes, or do as many back squats as you can,
or a 5 minute or a 500-meter row for time, or something.
I
like
had
that.
one time that was like a broad jump. Yeah, it was like a skills thing, and broad jump was part of it. I did terrible.
Yeah, but you have to like schedule when you do it, and I think you're kind of scheduling against everybody.
Yeah.
Ortega $1.99 is going to send me live updates. Please include super chats while you're at it. So
it's the only way. We'll talk about it.
I will share every time you super chat for sure.
And if Ortega would just send us $2 more, we could tell you what's happening. But
we'll have no clue until that happens.
We're just gonna sit here and wait. The spin cast will be pretty boring until Ortega pays us money. Ipodicus, the sponsors fronted the money, plus they have 2 million divisions to get money out of people. It's not. I mean, that's a lot of. That's. I don't know. The sponsors need to throw more money towards us if that's the case.
I think Blair and Ben need to run the games if they're coming up with the prize first on this.
Right. Captain Rogers, Taylor will take his floater and record it, unfortunately. Very true. All right. You guys want to play some blind rankings?
Let's do it.
All right. Let's give me a second here. Pull
It's
it up.
weird. I forget we're gonna do this every week, and then Spin's like, "You guys want to do blind rankings?" And I'm like, "Yes, I
can't wait." This one's a little different. It may make sense as we talk about the next one. But if the CrossFit Games went away and all they had left was HYROX, who would be the best at HYROX?
Oh man,
This will be easy.
I already know somebody's going to text me after this. It's going to be so annoying. I'm like, bro, just all right.
Who should go further their career in HYROX because
let's get it over.
There's no more CrossFit Games. All right, John.
I love this idea. It's post-apocalyptic.
That's right.
You can only
first,
train
guys,
one way.
guys and girls.
We'll see. First one. It's called blind rankings for a reason, John.
All right.
James Sprague.
Number
James
one.
Is pretty great.
There's a reason he's out.
Guys,
this early.
okay, Tyler, you have
There's
to think
a
about this.
reason.
Tyler, where would you put Tia?
No, it's
James. I would put Tia number
one.
If
he can only train to do HYROX,
and Tia is fitter in every way imaginable, including running.
James's peak is not better than Tia at this.
No.
Dude, look at him. He's like 80 feet tall. And
look up every running event.
He's the fittest man on earth. How dare you?
Every running
How dare you?
He's the fittest man. Go look up every running and lifting event there is. Dude, no. I would put James 2 because there's going to be somebody better. You think James would be better than Ricky at this?
Yeah.
I don't. You think James would be better than Hopper at this?
Do you think Tia would be better than Ricky at this?
I think they're close. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I don't know if you believe yourself right now.
Okay, one, HYROX is mainly running, right? It's
Tia and Ricky.
Okay, no. Let's break down what a HYROX is, okay? It's an 8K of running, with different machines and weightlifting implements, right? You got your
Sled
burpee
push,
broad
sled
jumps,
pull,
everything.
burpees,
It's a fitness.
wall balls.
It's fitnessy, but running is the most important thing.
Dude,
Who
this
by
guy
far?
pulled up and ran a
Who-
4:45 mile.
Ricky did.
That's what I'm saying.
No, I'm saying Ricky would be my number one at this. I would take Tia above
Once
James.
again, we're arguing for the same point.
I would take Tia above James, but for the sake of, I don't think they're both going to be there, right? I think we should put James at 2
For this list.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, James 2. I'm nervous that James is this early in the game. We've screwed
He
ourselves.
did this for a reason.
We're screwed.
Why?
Because you're a friggin'
For the
cheat.
record, I think freaking Hopper would be great at HYROX.
James is better than
I don't know.
Hopper.
I don't know if Hopper has.
Well, no. I'm not saying James isn't better.
The problem is,
I think Hopper would be great at HYROX too.
It's half running, half stuff. The stuff you can't.
Stuff.
I would argue it's
you can't
more
get far enough
70%
ahead.
running. It's more like 70% running, 30% stuff.
The time is about the same.
Okay, sure. Okay.
Right.
But CrossFit is over, right? HYROX is the only thing there is.
Yeah.
Hopper's going to be 20 pounds less, man. It's going to
Ooh.
be a skinny Hopper. He's already
Yeah,
good
but
at running.
Sprague's already
Already
Sprague-
skinny.
Yeah.
You're right. And so that's my point. Hopper would only get faster, like a lot faster, because he's going to be super skinny.
Who's next?
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
The way freaking Dallin's improving his running.
It's-
I mean, you take 20 pounds off Dallin might be great at HYROX.
It's the way you phrase stuff makes it sound so argumentative. It's like we can agree that vanilla ice cream's the best, and you'd be like, "Yeah, it's the best."
That's right.
How dare you don't speak with conviction, Tyler?
All right. Let's see. Next one. Manta Sleep. Code spin saves you 10%. Yellow Hosta.
Ooh,
Okay. All right. Let's evaluate our list. I think he's going to do every guy that's over 6 foot. I think he's going to go James, Yella, Hopper. I am now playing spin because of the first 2 names. Okay. I think he's going to go James, Yella, Hopper, Brent, and then throw Ricky at the end.
you're wrong. You're playing your version of spin, but you rank people in order of the thing at all times. Spin is a sick dude. He's gonna try to screw us over.
With all that being said, I agree with you that Yella should.
Of course you.
I'm
do.
good with putting Yella at 3. Why wouldn't I be? I'm
You
good
want
with putting
3?
Yella at 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yella
James
at
is
3.
better than Yella. I think,
Yeah, I'll roll with that.
All right.
at least for now.
Third one. Ricky Gerhard.
You see what I'm freaking saying, Tyler? Okay.
Where do you
Put
want
that
him?
man at number 1.
Number
Mr.
1.
455 himself.
You know what? 4.
You guys are looking pretty smart right now.
All right.
Next one.
We're screwed. Something's wrong. I don't like
Jeff
this.
Adler.
5.
No, we're great. We're great. I wouldn't say 5, man. He's probably the second best runner, like, if not the first best runner. I honestly
remaining.
no. Period.
Of
I
this
would
group.
Put I would put Jeff.
Jeff and
second.
Ricky.
I'm okay with that, but what about the other stuff?
Adler's pretty good at that type of stuff.
Adler's the 2023 fittest man in the world. And then he didn't even do it this year, dude. I would put Jeff at second.
Yeah, that's right.
You're
He's a
arguing
quitter.
5, and I would put Jeff
quitter.
at second.
He'll never go back to the games.
So where are you putting him? 4?
And he would be my second, for the record.
And the last one. Make sure you go to Manta Sleep. Get the best sleep of your life. And the last one is Tia Claire Toomey or
Told you.
Okay.
Told you you're screwing with us.
Now, if we were able to change it, I think I would say
Tia goes to 2 and then drop everybody down.
no. I think I would say Ricky. Yeah. I think I would say Ricky, Tia, and then Jeff, and then James, and then Yella. That's what I would say.
I would probably put Tia first. Reason being is I think
You got to compare her to the other women.
That's exactly. I
They're,
don't think
they're faster.
Have you
lot
seen
faster.
Hunter run? Hunter runs way faster than Ricky.
Yeah,
Way faster.
Ricky wouldn't win.
I think
Ricky
Tia
did
would.
it
I think
HYROX.
Tia would hang with the women better
No
than
shot.
Ricky does.
No shot.
But you're putting her in her own.
You know
division.
why? Do you know why I know that? Because Christy Aramo does HYROX now, and she's a great person to look at. Look at how Christy Aramo did, and she's about like 10th place.
Christy could have qualified for the World Championships.
Right.
Tia would have beaten her.
Sure, but not
Ricky would not have qualified for the top 15
Okay.
in HYROX.
I'm saying, okay, I see what you're saying.
I guess I'm comparing them 1-to-1, and you guys are comparing them in their own divisions.
Well, when you add in Tia, you do.
Yeah, you have to.
I think like it's scaled properly to where you can just compare it 1-to-1.
I see what you're saying, Spin. I agree then. But I think like as far as to win goes, I thought Ricky got like 5th in the one that he did.
In Australia, it was like nobody attended.
I thought it was 2 of the top
Scale.
15 were there.
No, it was HYROX has such huge disparities of athletes. And
gotcha.
even when Christy went, there was nobody there because all the top athletes have already qualified.
Right, but you
World.
just have to go by times because it's the same event everywhere. So you just go by times.
Yeah.
And I do think Tia would win versus Christy, but not by a lot. Dude, every running event, they're next to each other. Tia can just out sprint her in the end. Yeah, there's weightlifting stuff, but like Christy's freaking an elite
Christy's good
CrossFitter
enough.
too.
She's good enough.
She's not going to make
especially
up
at that
there.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like lifting, cleaning 225. It's easy light stuff that everybody can do. Like Tia's not making time on her on that.
Right.
You're right. So I think I'd go Tia, Ricky, Jeff, James, Yella.
Yeah.
Then if that is the case, this is probably one of our worst lists of all time. This is hard though, because I feel like we just don't know the sport of HYROX well enough to make educated.
It's just running.
A lot of it is, yeah.
The problem, the hard thing about HYROX is just because you're a good runner though, or good at the elements, the stuff.
If you can't recover from the run,
if you can't recover from the run, you don't make as much time up. And then you try to make time up on the stuff, and then it impacts your running. So like a lot of times that's why the stuff doesn't matter, because they run so fast that they all kind of like the elements are kind of recovery. Like the row and the ski are just get through it. You're 5-6 seconds. It's not that big of a deal. It comes down to the burpee broad jumps, and I think one of the sled pushes or pulls, and that's about it. And then running, that's all.
And people can't fathom this. Like they see Ricky do, a 4:55 and be capable of more, right? Because he kind of slowed down at the end. The people that win the HYROX race, or the top 5 people that do the HYROX race, they are so much faster than Ricky
for a long time.
Like they're running like sub 4:30s. Like
what were they running?
All of them.
What did Ricky run at the games during the run swim?
So
like a 6-minute.
Adler was 5:55, so Ricky would have been like 5:58.
Yeah,
because he had about 8 seconds to the water. It's over 3.5 miles.
Right.
5:58 the entire time.
Right.
And
whereas Hunter's running 16 minutes on that. He's running 5.5.
5:30, and he's not the fastest one. He beats everybody at the stuff.
Yeah.
These guys.
He is fit enough to where it matters.
These guys are 5'8", running 4:30 1K pace, or mile paces, but in one case. And Hunter can just ski at 135 and row at 135 while doing that.
Well, he doesn't. They never do it. Like 150 is the best. It's all recovery on.
But what I'm saying is Hunter is so much better at that stuff. That's where he makes his time up, because he just runs with those guys. But he's not the fastest one. It's just the little bitty guys can't move the weights.
They have to slow down for. They have to slow down for it most of the time. So, all right. As we get into the last topic, want to remind you all, Lu Jianjun, go over. Get some lifters, lift like Tia, and then maybe be as fast as her. Let me see. Let me pull this up. During Coffee Pods and Wads, around the whiteboard, Angelo DeChico and Jake Foster joined. Will Morad was too good for the show. He decided not to join. And during that, Jake Foster threw out a very, very interesting comment. So let's take a listen.
This is a whole other topic. I don't think the methodology is strong enough to stand on its own without the games. And I could explain that further, but
no, I think you're
the
right.
game, the vehicle, isn't it? The games is like almost like the delivery system.
Well, look at the history of fitness, right? Like, I mean, I had a mentor tell me once that he went to a conference and this guy.
Sorry, 1 second. HYROX doesn't have a methodology. Yes, it does. You can affiliate as a HYROX gym and they have programming.
That's what
it's not called a methodology, but they have like structure.
I was referring to the gym growth of HYROX.
Yeah.
It was surprising to me. But I think it goes to show that like constantly varied isn't entertaining for everyone. I mean, look at the growth of running post-COVID. The most monotonous single modality, type of activity that you could do, and it's taking off during COVID and post-COVID. It's kind of making a resurgence or a comeback. But what I was going to say, like the guy gets up in front of a conference, been doing strength conditioning for 30, 40 years, and looks at all the coaches, and he said the only thing that's changed in strength conditioning in the last 100 years is you. Like fitness swings on a pendulum, right? Like methodologies change over time. People prefer something over the other. Like it was always like constantly varied. I get to go to CrossFit affiliate. I get to do different stuff all the time. And now it's almost like the things that are the same, like HYROX and running on its own, are making a resurgence and a comeback. People are being attracted to doing more monotonous tasks. So I think it just goes back and forth. So it's just confirming the point of I don't think CrossFit's methodology of constantly varied functional movement executed at high intensity is good enough to stand on its own without the games.
CrossFit.
Does Angelo respond?
Angelo early on basically said, I kind of agree. And then Jake kind of went with it. I don't know if Angelo never addressed it completely. Pedro, I think, spoke a little bit after that. But can CrossFit, the methodology, today, I think that's a key point, today, survive without the CrossFit games?
That's what's convoluted about Jake's answer is he doesn't say it like that. He sort of separates an issue and says like the methodology can't stand on its own. And like I've been telling, I've been harping on this for like the past couple months now. Like CrossFit's a religion. It is a religion. I think we should stop leaning away from it like it's not a religion. It is a religion, and religions never die. Zoroastrianism has never gone away, and I bet you don't know what Zoroastrianism is.
No idea what you're talking about.
Right, but it's still around. People still practice it. It's the oldest religion ever. The methodology stands on its own because it's more like it's like saying math won't stand on its own. Like nobody will ever practice it. It's like, yeah, it always works. CrossFit always works. What I don't like about Jake's argument is like he's like, look, everybody's doing the running. It's like, yeah, everybody did Ragnar or whatever, like 10 years ago, and there was all of those, and then everybody was doing Spartan race and all this Tough Mudders, and that faded away, and now you're seeing the second resurgence of it. But people come back. Why is anybody doing HYROX? It's because CrossFit changed the gym culture forever, training culture forever, and when that shit dies away, because it's going to, where are all those people going to go? They're going to go back to CrossFit gyms. They're probably never going to leave them anyway. Oh, yeah, our gym does HYROX. I bet it's a CrossFit gym that also has HYROX shit in it.
John?
I'd just like to say the Bible starts at the beginning of time. So I would argue that is the oldest religion, or the Torah, Judaism, if you want to say that. But it's okay. We'll talk about a Persian prophet from year 1000 BC and call that the oldest religion, but you're whatever. I agree with your point, even though.
Did you look up Zoroastrianism while I was on my rant?
No,
I know a lot of useless stuff, Tyler. I'm pretty good at regular Jeopardy. CrossFit Jeopardy might get me on freaking terms and conditions because Chase loves to do that, even though I know the answer too well for him. but regular Jeopardy, I'm all right. I agree with your point. I think
all that
What?
argument to say we
Well,
agree again.
Yeah. I think too many people like CrossFit for it to go away. And yes, there's going to be like roller coaster of fads for sure. But people said CrossFit was going to go away, and it was a fad when it was before it exploded, and then it exploded during the Rich Froning era. And I know that's the games and stuff, but I just think there are so many people in regular gyms, regular affiliates that have no idea what the games is. They have no idea. They know the games exist, but they don't know any of the people. It's just a very small niche of people that the games is everything and they love, and it's what they're all about. We're in that niche, right? So many people in every single day gyms just go to CrossFit and it's the best hour of their day, not to quote Ackerman, but they're bettering themselves. They're becoming their best self. And the thing is, it works. I don't think there's anything better for the human body than CrossFit as far as getting healthy, as far as combating diseases, as far as all the Greg Glassman junk that I'm not going to recite, that Taylor knows way more than I know. And I'm not like an expert on methodology or anything. I don't nerd out on that stuff at all. But I think there's way too many people that are into it. And I think it is the single best thing for human health, that it will not go away for that reason alone. I think there are more people who have lost 100 pounds in CrossFit gyms than any other gym known to man. And if that is the case, if that is true, and I believe that to be true, there's no way that is just going to fade away. So yes, I mean, Tyler put a weird spin on it and said a religion nobody cares about. It's just some foreign god. But I couldn't agree more with what he said, though. Like, it's not going to go away because
There's still
it's
a
the truth,
gym,
which is different than what Tyler's saying, because it's the freaking truth.
There's
Let's use
still a
Christianity
jazzercise
instead of
gym down the road.
Zutharastarism, whatever you said. Let's use Christianity. It's not going away. You know why? Because it's the freaking truth. Like Jesus. That's what Tyler was trying to say.
I want to bring up this comment here from Lupe. It will survive, but not sure if he means it literally, though. Could he be trying to say thrive?
I think
instead?
that
he would have said thrive.
No. People understand what they want to understand, John, and we are very literal in our word understanding.
Dave Castro said, "Let me check on that for you."
Right.
Which meant no way, right? Take the literal. You think he's going to go check with somebody to see if you get a minute back.
Thrive is a whole different conversation.
I agree with that. I'm not saying thrive. I think things have to change for it to thrive. And I don't know how to do that, but go ahead, Tyler.
I think the problem with the CrossFit Games is the reason CrossFit is not thriving at the moment. If you grew up in CrossFit gyms from 2008 through 2018, you knew what thriving was, and we're not in it. And there's one thing that's different now, and it's the games, and it's the way the season's structured.
But what if the games was by itself, and then they were talking about the games didn't exist, correct?
Yeah, I mean, it was
right.
if the CrossFit Games go away, I mean, it could be in any different type of
what I'm saying
iteration.
It's
just not the CrossFit Games.
If they just separated, there's the CrossFit Games company, and then there's the CrossFit.
If you call it the Games or Fittest on Earth, right, but not CrossFit.
Right. Well, I mean, if it just separates, I think as I would just broker like it's still the same thing, and I'd be like, they're doing CrossFit. This is just the Fittest on Earth Games or whatever you want to call it. Like if they separated, but that part grew, it would only market CrossFit even more.
Well, what if they didn't? Yeah, but that's under the current understanding where they kind of push people into CrossFit gyms. Would that be true if the games company didn't do that.
Yeah, I think it would. I don't think people go to CrossFit gym. I know that this might be a hot take, but I think a lot of people don't go in the
It's no hotter than
gym.
your hottest.
They don't go in the CrossFit gyms because the games pushes to go to an affiliate. And I know they like a lot of people try to do that a lot, but I didn't go to CrossFit because the games pushed me to an affiliate. I was like, wow, Rich Froning looks like that, and he can do all these really cool things.
Why do you know who Rich is?
How does he do that?
Right.
I saw it on ESPN.
Yeah,
right,
why
but it
is
was
that?
tied to CrossFit.
Right. No, but it was the CrossFit games that I'm watching. I'm saying if the fittest on earth is what I'm watching, and they just called it the fittest on earth. That's the name of the competition.
You're going to do research.
World's fittest man, just like strongman, world's fittest man. That's what it's called. If
World's
I'm watching that,
woman.
I'm saying if that grows, and I'm watching that from somebody who just hasn't seen anything, right? And that's what I see. And I'm seeing all these people, this guy can freaking handstand walk and then, put 300 pounds over his head and then do a bunch of ring muscle ups. And he looks how he looks. And I'm like, God, like that guy is freaking Superman. How does he, right?
But there's no tie back to CrossFit.
No, but you freaking say we do CrossFit. Like you don't say go to an affiliate. It is CrossFit. If you separate it as a company, I don't understand why you can't just call yourself the CrossFit Games and your partner companies. You're two companies, but you're agreed that we're all in this together, but we're two separate companies. You operate how you want to operate. You operate how I want to operate.
What if the CrossFit Games just goes away and it's left with Rogue and Wadapalooza and
someone will
just
rise?
Well, okay. Well, then let's call it Rogue because Rogue's probably the one to rise if that's the case. You're telling me Rogue would be against them saying this? We're doing CrossFit.
Rogue couldn't say it. The athletes would.
I
think it goes to.
I think it's big enough. People know what you're doing, bro. They know.
It goes to
CrossFit.
Mr. Jump Ship. The evolution of the games athlete did not help the CrossFit brand.
What does that mean?
Like you say that. And maybe even if let's just say it's true. Let's say
what does it mean, John? What does he mean when he says this?
Like the Rich Froning explosion, whenever the games exploded,
way different.
He's saying that didn't help the CrossFit brand.
I would say that Rich Froning's era helped the CrossFit brand. They all own gyms. Most of them are red shirts.
Okay, they're too good. That's unrealistic to get.
No, the games athletes today have no tie back to the affiliates. No tie back to CrossFit.
The way that the athletes have changed there's no return on investment for athletes or to the CrossFit gym for athletes now.
Right.
Short of a couple rich, some of the old schools.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, I didn't want to do CrossFit because they were at an affiliate. I saw them doing all these crazy stuff, and I wanted to be able to do that.
No, but here's what
but
kept me.
Fast forward 10 years from now, and you just see the athletes doing it. They've completely separated themselves from CrossFit. They don't consider themselves CrossFit athletes. They just consider themselves
athletes
who compete for the fittest.
Why does that have to be the case? Why would you not just say you're CrossFit athletes and you compete in the fittest man on earth?
Because it just falls out of popularity. You don't say you're just training. It just becomes like a thing that I just train. I just do a lot of different stuff.
I disagree. I think you would still say I do CrossFit.
I don't think you realize how fast words fall out of favor because the brand doesn't push it.
Right. It's easy to say that you continue to say you do CrossFit, but that's today. I'm saying fast forward 10 years from now, when it's now 10 years removed, all the athletes that are competing have never competed under the CrossFit Games. They've competed under World's Fittest Man or Woman. They just do a competition and they do different varied things. And that's it. I think.
And then when people ask them, what do you do to get so fit? You're telling me they're going to say, I just train.
They would. Yeah. They'll probably say in 10 years, they'd be like, you probably know what CrossFit is. It's something similar to that.
Yeah.
But like people might not know what CrossFit is anymore. And at that point they'll say, well, I just do like a lot of different stuff. I run, but I also weightlift and I do. They'll go back to explaining
You know what
how
that's
we
called?
used to explain CrossFit.
It's called
That's how you
freaking
know
CrossFit.
it right now, John. But that
I get
does not
what you're
mean
saying. I guess I disagree with that. People are going to just randomly forget that word.
I don't think they bring it up.
I don't think people would just forget to. I think people would always bring it up.
I don't know. Let's see.
Maybe
let's talk
I
to
love
Papa
the sport
Young.
of
Papa
CrossFit
Young.
better than you guys.
Maybe. Larry Young. Papa Young. It won't go away, but it's just Orange Theory without the games.
I disagree completely. Do you know why?
Everything
Because
is good.
freaking
for health,
hard to
all
do.
of it.
It's hard to do. You can't go to a CrossFit gym if you don't want to work hard. It's what I love
don't.
about CrossFit is it's the freaking community. It doesn't matter how fit you are. It doesn't matter how good you are, where you came from. If you want to work hard and be a better you, that's everybody in a CrossFit gym. Orange Theory is not that. F45 is not that. That's for people that want to say they're doing stuff that have no idea what real stuff is. Okay? Like that's soccer moms that are afraid to be strong. And I'm not saying that, and it's better than nothing. It's better than nothing, right? It's way better to do Orange Theory than to sit on the couch. But what I'm saying is that Orange Theory is not CrossFit because they don't know what intensity is. Their whole thing is to not be very intense. You know, like I disagree so hard that like you can't do CrossFit if you are afraid to work hard. You can do Orange Theory. I bet you there's a lot of lifting gloves in Orange Theory, right? You know, like it's not the same.
Here, if you were from outer space, John, and somebody showed you CrossFit,
I'm not from outer space. I'm from here, and everybody
what if
in the
you were?
world is from
but what
here.
if you were? It goes back to Hiller's point. If you take out the CrossFit games and you looked at CrossFit.com and F45 training and you wanted to figure out where I should go, why do I pick CrossFit over F45 if I have no idea what either of them are?
Okay, well then I would try both and then figure out who the real monsters are.
I'm going to the Marky Mark gym.
Because I guarantee you, you know what? If that happens, they're going to do shows where it's like there's going to be a person from F45, there's going to be a person from Orange Theory, there's going to be a person from CrossFit, and just like today's freaking shows, the Titan Games, 1 versus 100, the freaking CrossFitter wins every single time because they're the best thing. It's the best thing. It works the best. It creates monsters, man. It's the best for health. It's the best for physical fitness. It's the best at being a freaking freak, right? I know there's a lot of people that are capable of it, but who did the 500 5-minute mile first? A freaking CrossFitter, because it's the best thing there is. And I'm telling you, that's not going to go away because the games doesn't associate from CrossFit anymore. Right? There's regular people, everyday regular people that are the fitness freak in their friend group. This is what I have to tell. Like I tell my wife this. This is what I have to tell my girls this all the time. They get down on themselves because like they have a bad day and they're not training good. And like 6 people beat them in the workout. And I'm gonna tell when you go to work, when you go to Walmart, everybody looks at you like you're the fitness freak. You're the thing that they can't touch. Right? Because you do this every day and nobody else can. And that's what CrossFit is. And when they come to the Orange Theory person, they don't have nothing on you. I pray for the day where Orange Theory comes to play with CrossFit because, and I'm talking about just gym versus gym, not your best of your best. And you know how much of a beatdown Orange Theory would get? Get out of here. People aren't going to forget that just because the games doesn't associate anymore. I disagree so hard. Right? Every single day I watch people murder themselves because they have this community full of people that also want to murder themselves so they can be better. in life. And people who work hard in the gym are going to work hard outside of the gym. It shows. I guarantee you I could go to any business and pick out the person who does Orange Theory and pick out the person who does CrossFit just by their work ethic. It's different. I'm sorry.
I want Hiller to take that rant and do the music thing he does, but do like a SpongeBob F is for friends who do stuff together version of it.
Dude, I hate when I like get going and I don't I don't know when it's happening and I have no control over it. And then like when I finally realized, man, you've been talking for a while, and then it's like I've been talking for a really long time. Right? Like it's like when I finally realize it, it's way too late. I've been talking for so long.
Adam Ludlow. JY has these moms ready to run through a brick wall.
Okay, I'll take my mom's versus anybody.
No, I think you're
So
right.
anyway,
I think you're right, John. They're obviously looking at it from a different
30 million CrossFitters. That's
well,
the lens.
They're looking at it from, and I think they even made the comment about the college athletes who can't do basketball or football anymore, can't compete. They're going to go to CrossFit to do that, right? Because they can compete and they see an avenue for that. You're looking at it as building, muscle mamas and getting women fit and the general
And
population fit, right? So I think both help. I don't think the CrossFit Games is what holds up CrossFit. I think CrossFit would need to do a different marketing approach.
What would that even be, though? And how would it last? More than saying we create the fittest humans on earth.
I think that's the tough part for CrossFit, to attract that type of person, right? The ultra athletic collegiate athlete,
No,
service member to go do it.
because there was more. We were on a higher incline 5 years ago. 8 years ago, 6 years ago.
7, yeah.
And that was because
back in the day.
Well, 6 years ago was about the time where everything blew up.
That was because the barrier to entry for people to think that they were elite was lower. There was a time in which the games athletes seemed approachable because you knew so many people who were steps in between you and them, and you were close to their fitness. And that has done nothing but get higher. That gap has grown more and more every year. The games consolidating and making the season shorter and the athlete pool smaller has made it seem farther away. But people want to believe, people go to CrossFit gyms because they believe they can be Rich Froning. Everybody's a freaking jackass. Everyone believes if I work hard, I might screw up and be as fit as Rich Froning. They look at Rich in this very religious way and think, I can be that. And they can't. Just like you can never be like Jesus, you'll never be like Rich Froning.
That doesn't stop me from striving to try to be those.
Right. And that's the point. But we've made Jesus too far away now. We don't think we can be like them anymore.
Jesus is always there, man. He's at the door of your heart. Just wait.
We used to think we could, though. We used to think we could. Yeah, but now Jesus has he's got freaking laser beams for eyes and he's got wings.
That's cool. Homelander. Okay, don't bring the boys into this.
We've made it too far away. And that's the issue with the game season and how it's changed to me is we've made fitness unapproachable. Fitness is already very unapproachable for most people, and you have to lower that gap as much as possible. And that's what made local heroes who went to regionals, who went to these local competitions and threw down, seem so cool. It changes the entire gym culture when you have people who make it to regionals, or somebody in your city makes it to regionals. Do you know what Jen Smith did for Lexington, Kentucky?
Yeah.
No, everyone in Lexington knew who Jen was. And they knew that she was like fit, but she was approachable. She was a normal freaking human. And they knew people who were just a step away from fitness from her. And they knew somebody who was just a step away from fitness from that. And they were just a step away from fitness from that. Made them feel like they could train. And that step is too high now.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I think they tried to solve it with quarterfinals.
No one cares.
I know-
No one wants a
I'm
participation
not.
trophy.
No. I know that, Tyler,
Yeah.
but I think
Yeah,
they wanted to make quarterfinals akin, like it's a step under regionals, but it is, you got to be fit to get there. And then I think they ruined it with the top 25%. Right? Top 10%, that was something that was hard to get.
Yeah.
And like you got to be pretty darn fit to be top 10%. You got to be able to do all the stuff. Like you can't just be fit and get there. You have to be able to do all the gymnastics and stuff. And
but it
because
gave
semifinals is too hard. Semifinals is like way above
Yeah.
regionals. And I agree
Right.
with everything you're saying. I think if they made quarterfinals top 10%, and I get what they're doing, they probably for money, but if they made it 10%, but then really went out of their way to make it a big deal to make the 10%. And I don't know how you do that. I hear they're looking for new marketing people, so maybe they can help with that. But
it's so easy.
I think it would help a lot.
The cool thing about regionals was it was close, but it seemed like this big thing, and it really wasn't a big deal. Like
No,
you
it
rented
wasn't.
out,
No.
Yeah, but
you
think about-
rented out some expo center, and that's all it was. And it was the accumulation of everybody in your local 3 to 5 state range, and they all went there, and it made it seem like it was this big deal. And quarterfinals doesn't have that appeal. It doesn't have that sex appeal of like
what's funny
seeming
is
like this big thing.
semifinals should have more of that appeal.
Right.
Like if you really think about it, like they should hype semifinals up so freaking much. Semifinals is literally the NFC AFC championship.
Yeah, but you have to travel from Michigan down to Florida, or Boston down to Knoxville. Like
That's
Minnesota to Carson, and spend
Not
several
to come out.
$1,000s
I'm
to go
not
do
saying
that.
to come out. Like people.
But that was
like,
the
you
thing,
could say
though,
the same
like-
thing about you could go to regionals.
You could go to regionals. You
I
could
get what
see
you're saying.
you could see the athletes. Like how many times were there competitive groups in the gym? Right, they just kind of got pretty good, and it was like, hey, you can go to the competitive class instead of the regular class.
God, I remember competitors classes.
And they would be finishing up when the 5 o'clock class would show up, and you'd see all these monsters in there doing it. And you're like, oh yeah, that guy used to work out at the 6 a.m. class. He got
And
really
now
good,
he's in
and
the
now he's
competitive
here.
class.
And this group of athletes are going to be our team for the open and regionals. Right there was
Then
that.
everybody from the gym goes because it's not very far, but they also know people. And guess what? While they're there, they see Scott Panchik and they're like, who's that? What do they do? And they're now a new fan of the sport. Now take that away. And then add 8 years on top of that and wonder why no one goes to these events. You took away the bottom. Why would anyone go?
Would you say the same thing for like Torian in Brazil, because they're pretty successful?
They're low-level athletes, John.
Ricky Garrard?
No, I think
Well, not Ricky.
I think if you
Australia's
look at
different.
the team competition of semifinals, I think it's a lot like it used to be. I think they're just like Europe is probably 5 years, 6 years behind the States and the kind of the trajectory of the sport. Australia is probably the same way, right? Like,
Do you think
They're
they're
still-
hitting their 2018 moment?
like there's still the mayhem teams that go out there, and there's super teams that are going to go qualify. But I think if you looked at the other 27, 26 teams that qualify for the Oceania region semifinal, they're affiliate members. They're not super teams like this. A lot of the states have.
I feel you. Well, then, but if they have a passion, like Europe's got a passion, Australia's got a passion, South America's got a passion that we used to have, and they have that. You're saying they have that. They're in their glory day.
They're in the
phase.
honeymoon
They're in their
phase.
2018 phase, right? Then why don't we just take the games out to those places, and it would be the environment would be great. And I know we don't get the games here if we do that, but if we take the games out to those places, just because the environment would be amazing, and then you have different type of games, things to play with each year, right? And
I think
then
that was what 3 years from now is. Casper's
that's
vision.
3 years from now, bro. But Australia and then Australia and Europe catch up to America, and all of a sudden, and I'm just saying in like depth of field, not top of the top, depth of the field, before people start choking me out. And then all of a sudden, America's not good at their own sport anymore, and now we're like basketball, and then all of a sudden we get passionate again.
Go look at the teenagers leaderboard. The Americans are at the top, but like 10 through 20 or 10 through 30, all international athletes.
Really?
Like there's some international athletes at the top, like Lucy McGonigal got third, but like as I was kind of going through the list, like it was just international athlete after international athlete. Like it was wild.
Do you think that, so if you use my theory about fitness and elite fitness seeming approachable, that's why I call like my whole theory on this, like the illusion of eliteness. It's because people want to feel elite. They want to feel special, but they're like, you got to dangle it to where just barely.
You're absolutely right, Tyler. I just don't know the answer to that.
Do you think that Europe, so you think that Europe and Australia sort of have that, where it just seems a little bit more approachable right now, or no?
Maybe to make the games or to make semifinals.
Semifinals.
Yeah.
Because that's their games. That's their big moment.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think to make semifinals, yeah, for sure.
It's reachable, or appears to be reachable for many.
Like if you're pretty darn fit, but you're not any type of like freak or anything, it's reachable.
So here's the 16 to 17-year-old boys.
Oh, I like seeing a South African up there.
RJ is from a town right next to me. So there's 3, 4, 5, 6 in the top 11 from the States. And then it's just international.
Wow.
Like, I mean, and
that's
I wasn't
crazy to make that trip for the teen.
Right. It's not at the game
because it's like
their own competition.
It's nobody but your parents. You know what I mean?
Yeah. This
I don't know. You could say you're the second fittest 17-year-old in the world. And that's pretty cool.
KO. I wonder how you say that name.
Their website is very slow.
Subiano.
Yeah.
Subiano.
And his brother Kulani. They're twins.
They've got like a clan of 5.
They were in the program's crown last year, something like that. So
Matt, people at my are you Australian, Matt? But also people at my gym now say I want to make semifinals. People at my gym used to say I'm going to make the games.
I remember when I found it. I found it in 2012. The girls have a few more from the States, but I remember when I found it in 2012. The first year, I was like, "Oh, there's 26,000 people. I'm fit." And then I did the first open workout. I was like, "Nope, not fit.
I'm not fit."
Nope. That was fun while it lasted.
Yeah.
But you
I discovered CrossFit, and I was like, I think I can get to that lifting those numbers. And then I did. It was super easy. I don't know why more people don't do that. I didn't look at it fitness wise. I never thought I could run what they did. I did think I could do 333 because Rich walked, but no, I was like, I think I can get to that. I don't know how to do those movements, but I think I can figure it out and get where I can get there.
Get the strength side of it. Larry Young, even though it'll never happen, what CrossFit has is if you actually got super fit, you can compete. It's the only thing like that. Without the games, that's gone.
There's other competitions you can compete at.
Fair enough.
People want the spectacle.
Yeah.
People want to feel special.
Well, that's it. Oh, wrong one.
Hold on. Before you don't go away. Hold on. I'll be right back.
Where am I going?
Everybody
Just hang out. Hang out.
He did this on Sevon's show too. Can everybody hold on a minute? He's like, yeah, there's only like right now.
We only have 590 people waiting for John to come back.
All right, what we got? Allville Teens is sponsor. It's a big announcement.
Man, everybody's waiting, John.
I'm sorry.
We only lost 3 viewers. So
my wife wanted me to reveal this. She is now making bats. If anybody wants a bat, okay.
Look at that.
If you're a fan of Hillers and you want a bat to support him, go ahead and get one. They are now on the site. She messaged me 9 times to show the bat throughout the show. So I was waiting for that time, but okay, that was it. I'm sorry.
Whoops. And then even if you hate Hiller, you can buy it and then use it like you can like stab it every time you.
Yeah, you
puts
can
a
use it
video
as a voodoo bat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or yeah, my dad makes a good point. Or just Halloween. You know, it's coming around the corner.
Yeah, JY Barbell. But then of course there are the plushies. Colton Mertens, Austin Hatfield, the Humper Bunny.
Look at all these.
And there's the bat, the no rep bat plushie. It's good. Mustard Seed Crochet Co. Go
It's
get it
in
through
my
John's.
Instagram if you don't know where it's at.
So go support John. Buy a shirt, buy a plushie.
Mm-hmm.
I need to start selling stuff.
We appreciate it. Yeah, Tyler, do you want a thing? I can make you a thing. What do you want?
Oh, I don't.
I say I can ask my wife to make you a thing.
What is
What would your mascot be? Yeah, if you had a thing, what would it be?
I have no idea.
Well, you should figure that out, man.
a computer?
I just meant that I should sell stuff, period. Like T-shirts or something.
Yeah.
But you went to
Sorry.
Well, that's their show. Make sure you support Frog Grips. I saw somebody comment that maybe the code's not working, so I'll check that out. It'll be up hopefully tomorrow, and then get some lifters. Lose Ajun, do that, and then of course Manta Sleep. Guys, what do you think about the show? Good, bad, indifferent? No?
I think this one was a 10. I don't know what you're gonna do, but I think it was.
I don't know. Let's see.
I don't think it was groundbreaking.
No, it was very just vanilla.
Yeah.
Just vanilla. All right, we'll do our best. Do better next time.
even though I called you Jesus, huh, Rich? Thanks, buddy.
Rich calls you vanilla for that. That's great.
All right, guys. We'll see you